pick because the protection from Sign and Good was always there. They were always in position to kind of punish that type of play. But I think that BlossoM's main objective should be in the early game just to play safe. If for example, Tempest is going to try to take the neutral Night Camp, you just let them have it. Because, as we saw in the last game, if you try to fight over these camps against the ETC Blaze, you're going to have a bad time.
Yep, that's exactly what they're trying to do. They're trying to punish the rotation, camp timings. I think Tempest is the one that's going to look for invade instead. Let's see how BlossoM wants to go for their own rotation. There's a silence starting off. That's paired it even with one CC coming out from Blaze, either Blaze or Sign.
Oh man, if the silence wasn't on cooldown, that might have actually been a kill.
Very close to it.
Yeah. So, they're just going to use this wave clear to... I mean, Jaina's basically going to use her Cone of Cold on cooldown to help clear these waves. And then just, they're going to rotate and try to terrorize BlossoM. So I was talking about in the early game, it's going to be hell for them. They have to play safe. Even Gondar needs to be careful trying to get stacks. Oh, see you later. He might very well be dead here. There's a silence. Okay, not enough to kill him with the armor. In fact, ETC will go down to the turret. But, you know, the idea here, though, is still very scary for BlossoM. The armor, plus Uther's armor, is really strong, so he gets his one stack and actually they get a pick with the toss.
Yep. Very nice with Gondar. Almost a bait of himself going in with the armor. So Dami was hesitating for a slight second there because he knew that armor might not even get a kill. So he went in a second too late. By that time, Sign was dying inside. So that's what happened in that skirmish.
Camps taken at the exact same time for both teams. Dahaka trying to soak a little bit mid here. Wiz is coming in, but we'll definitely need to be careful about going forward any further than he has. It's going to be the Sunshine controlled for BlossoM, as Blaze is kind of up there alone. Garrosh rotating up. This is a really risky spot for Good right now, but see if the rest of the team gets there in time. Dami coming through here. Spell armor on both sides here in this Venn diagram as well, so that makes it such a crazy fight that we're watching. Silence coming down to Modern Life. And it looks like this is going to be a pretty neutral fight with the wave clear for Tempest, though. They just barely went out. They were able to stop the Unleash in mid. And, you know, when the dust settles, it's pretty even. Oh, although as soon as I say that, Lockdown does get picked. Can they make it a trade? I don't think so. Sign's coming in. Can he get that power slide? It's perfect. They need to get a pick here. Nasong will go down. Oh, they're just going to eat these heals. Get some stacks. He's getting body blocked here. Gets a toss off. 15 armor at the moment, and he will eventually go down here. 44 armor going to help him stay alive for a little bit longer, but...
The entire team is on to chase.
Oh my god. Shurikens actually heal him when he has that 50 armor. Alright, so... fairly even trade in terms of the fight. Both the solo lanes here, Wizbot and Good Top, are pushing the cannon towers at the moment. So this is the closest game we've had so far. We're only 3 minutes into it, but BlossoM is holding their own.
Yeah, 2-2 Gondar's Garrosh surviving for such a long time, especially when Jaina dies. That is going to be the best time for Gondar to survive, because lots of the skill damage, basic attack damage from the rest of the team except for Jaina, I think Gondar is going to be happy to take all those damage.
Yeah, I mean, think about the auto attacks of Genji, ETC, Stukov. Like, these are not concerns. Oh, knocking him right back into the maximum duration of that silence. Will, of course, escape because of the reasons you just mentioned. But that was still really well done. If it were any other hero, it would be dead. Okay, we do have an unleashed potential here for Team Tempest. Sign here, looking for a good power slide on the retreat, right into the Blizzard and the silence. Will they burst down Garrosh this time? He looks for the heal. He does finally go down here. Lockdown gets dragged with the power slide, or sorry, the face melt will save him for a while until Scatter Arrow comes out. And this is actually going to be a one trade for Team BlossoM. We'll get that second pick. We'll tie up the talents, and because Nasang is here in mid, Dami's too low, they are going to prevent the Unleash.
They bought a good amount of time. Even if Gondar dies, he buys a lot of time. He eats all the skill shots from all 4 or 5 players of Tempest, and that's doing his job already.
Yeah, if this were Hero League, like, he would have the shiny portrait, because, you know, that a lot of the time when you play tank, like, if you take a lot of damage, it's always like, it's all flashy and on fire. It's like, wow, he tanked a lot of damage. Like, whoa, it gets all flashy. That would be him right now.
That's what I feel all the time. Like, what did he do? But he's on fire for some reason.
Yeah.
From like level 3 and stuff.
Exactly.
That's what Gondar is right
That's
now.
what he would be if we're in Hero League.
Cancelled.
Cancelled here for just a second. That's just enough time. I really like that they take the neutral camp during this. They pushed mid, and the neutral camp here is going to make it so easy to hold on to this shrine. There's an opportunity now for BlossoM to unleash, because the wizard is actually staying alive. They actually continue to heal the wizard so that the rest of the minions get that spell armor here. This is buying so much time. Unfortunately, they're not able to capitalize on it. Dami coming into the back line here will get pushed away. Interesting deflect timing there to try to stop the scatter arrows. By the way, it was announced scatter arrow is going to get removed from Overwatch. Feels weird when we have 2 Overwatch heroes that get changed in Overwatch, that like their identities in heroes will be a little bit weird with D.Va not having the missiles.
Is it going to be the same in heroes then?
Well, it didn't happen to D.Va, man. She still doesn't have missiles in heroes. They need to add that ASAP, man.
Oh, let's see.
She needs to get higher tier. That's what we need.
Still pretty high in NA.
Yeah, that's true. Just ask Roll20, man. Don't ask Tempest about that one.
Yes. Especially Tempest. Warhead Junction? Oh, never mind. That's not even in the pool anymore.
Ah, Warhead Junction.
Good times.
Depending on who you ask.
Well, low time for both teams. Now they have Taunt, which is even greater, but better against Genji.
Yeah.
But Jaina has been having a very tough time in this game against Garrosh. Even more CC available now, and also ETC against Garrosh. It's very tough to actually power slide in and out. There's that isolation and secures the kill. Perfect CC combo there.
Okay, that was where'd that arrow going?
Random arrow flying by.
Was that Sergeant Hammer like BFG, or Dami's gonna narrowly escape death here? They got a pick, but I don't know if they can really capitalize on it. Look at the top lane. Like, this time they don't have a camp to take neutral, but they could have invaded to steal Siege Giants. They're a bit slow on that, and if they try to do it now, they're going to be... I just think it's a terrible idea. So they get a kill, but they lose top wall, and they're losing a lot of damage to the fort. They took a slight experience lead, but they didn't gain anything from it. In fact, they didn't even get their own camp very quickly here. So, capitalization on the first time they got those picks to control the shrines and push the bot was really smart, but and to get the, obviously, night camp. But this time they don't really get anything from that kill on the ETC. In fact, I feel like they kind of lost more than they gained with that top push.
And now with that stage dive, I think they have more than enough. Actually, a better tool than Dehaka. They have been trying to bring Garrosh down in lots of ways. Maybe this is their time to do it. There's a taunt, and
okay,
that's
Dragon
gonna be a
Blade.
kill.
Here comes the follow-up stage dive as well for the slow here. Wiz does get caught and killed. That's 2 deaths for BlossoM, and an already pretty disastrous situation. This may be the first Dragon Knight of the game. See Jaina rotating up top. Not even going to deal with that minion wave, wants to go straight to the Dragon Knight. Greymaine's coming up there, so Modern Life going to try to challenge this, but this is a risky situation with ETC as well. I think actually Modern Life barely gets the kill, but I don't know if he gets out alive. If Sign body blocks correctly, he's already used his power slide. Looks like he will. Oh, well, maybe I spoke to some good. Stun connects. Okay, there's a Dragon Knight I was talking about. Good idea to send Greymane up there, but just outmanned.
Oh, good use to play lots of Greymane also. So knew exactly what he was going to do. The jukes were not even close to bring him back to life there. He had no escape.
I feel like even if Lockdown had like waited one more second, knowing what was going to happen, might even been able to survive. But the end result is they get the Dragon Knight. So this game is, for the first time, really going to be a massive lead for Tempest. You know, it's been a pretty even game, all things considered, especially with BlossoM getting a lot of kills, just not capitalizing as well as they could have. But now Tempest is going to take a whole level lead, going to get a structural advantage here. Look at the commitment to actually try to gank Dehaka right now, even coming to the stage dive. Wiz is dead. Gondar going to get shoved away here, and they're just going to walk out safely.
Did you see something flying by?
No, wait, what do you mean?
No.
Wait, what?
I saw a giant arrow flying by randomly.
Oh yeah, no, I try to ignore it.
Hanzo's not even close to the team fight.
Well,
and
I mean, you know, when you're desperate, you gotta shoot these arrows out. But wasn't gonna be enough in this case. Maybe not enough due to it's a lot of damage there, but will survive. And now this nightcap should belong to Tempest.
There's the shove, and Gondar cannot find an escape.
Divine Shield. It's gonna actually live for a long time, but Bunker just gonna counteract all of this. Gondar gets stunned. Dragon Blade gonna get enough burst to finish off Garrosh here. Finally, there's the second kill for Dami. Even though ETC died, just too much damage here. They can't live through it. That Bunker again was just so well placed, so well timed. It's a dead fort as even the water elemental gets involved. So 2 forts down now for BlossoM. This game is starting to get out of their hands with the nightcap that they could have taken earlier. They got the kills instead. Now they're going to take it.
Now it becomes really hard for BlossoM to make their rotation. They have been punished so many times for even Tehaka stepping over, not even stepping over the fort line, as he was alone in solo lane. Well, he thought he was alone. There's the stage dive, the utility from the entire team of Tempest. They have so much CC, the silence, even Tehaka, even Garrosh dies to that.
Yeah. Look at the push now. Like, they're just going to grab the siege camp and then try to cut off anybody who comes down here. And just like we saw in Sky Temple, with the spell armor reduction from the wizard and the siege giants super far at the back, you can't really easily deal with this. Even with Hanzo and Graven on your team, it takes so long to clear with the cocktails coming through. And this is just an easy way to get a free keep wall, maybe some picks if somebody messes up, and there you go. Hanzo's dead. Bunker here for the big push. This is going to be a keep, and right afterwards maybe a Dragon Knight. Could be more. Here's the stage dive. Another silence from Good. This is nearly a team wipe, G-Clef.
He doesn't even need the mosh pit. What they need is more damage, and that's why he picked stage dive along with the CC. They have the pair, and they're going to end the game here. Going for that core. There's a CC again.
Oh man, silence perfectly placed there. No burrow. Not that it would have helped him at all in this situation. This is going to be game. I said it might be a Dragon Knight. Not going to be required, G-Clef. Not going to be necessary. Will he get another kill here? Dragon Blade going to help secure that one. Modern Life is down. Hanzo's respawn, but he's going to sit in the Hall of Storms.
Dashing, even that. I think that's almost full stack redemption, but doesn't even matter. But because he died.
That's right. And there you go. Gonna be the 3-0 score for Tempest. We thought this was gonna be perhaps a closer one with the 2 innovators of this tournament facing off against each other, but sadly it was not to be.
Very sad. And the last arrow could have been the first one to hit the actual target, but stopped because the core blew up and BlossoM not really having their day. Though Gondar's Garrosh looked fantastic, was punishing ETC lots of the time. That 1v1 in tank line 2 was pretty tough for ETC. Garrosh oftentimes wins that too, and he was doing fine. But even with that, they're happy because they are very likely going to that Eastern Clash as a 4th spot from Korea.
Yeah, actually with the 3-0 here, I think they are guaranteed in 1st place, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, no one can pass them. They have a 7-0 score in sets now, so.
Yeah, even for BlossoM, they're in 4th place, unless Luck does something crazy against Ballistics in match 2.
I think even if that happens, they still don't pass them. I did the math on this morning. I don't have it written down in front of me, but I was in the good old Wikipedia.
Yeah, that's not even possible.
Yeah, I was doing those stats, but so all the spots are secured, but it's about Ballistics versus KSV for the 2nd place, which is why KSV's match, tomorrow and Ballistics' match today really matter, because that could create some shuffle there, because it's not guaranteed who's going to get 2nd or 3rd. And like I said at the beginning of the broadcast, that kind of determines where the teams will face off against Tempest, because Tempest is the highest seed, right? So if you're 2nd seed, you avoid them more than the 3rd, and then of course the 4th will face them first in terms of Korea versus Korea in the bracket. So you want to stay away from Tempest right now, the undefeated team. So that 2nd, 3rd place spot matters. You'll face them eventually, assuming Tempest continues to win, but you get that extra little gap.
Yep, they got that 7-0, the first perfect one from Korea for Tempest. It was usually Ballistics, or back then MVP Black. Tempest was always the 3rd one, sometimes in 2nd place, but always ended up being the 3rd place spot after those 2 teams. Now they're standing in with the perfect score after defeating KSP from the day number 1.
Yeah.
And then even Ballistics, they are unstoppable right now. May even go into Eastern Clash and destroy the entire Asian region.
Sure. I mean, it's definitely possible. When we saw Tempest defeat KSB at the beginning, we thought, okay, might have been a fluke. Their strategies are pretty cool.
The
I
very
like what they were
first day.
thinking, yeah. And then they just kept winning everything. So it's been a pretty crazy ride. Like Tempest has never had an undefeated season before, and this obviously is just the first part, so the season's not over. They're not undefeated technically yet, but I mean, it could happen. It absolutely is possible that Tempest walks away with an undefeated regular season if this continues after Eastern Clash. So Towers of Doom, Sky, and Dragonshire, we have our 3-0 score. We're going to take a look at some highlights in just a second, and then, of course, eventually we will have the interview with the MVP. Who's your MVP tonight? Because I think I actually might have to say good. It was either good or sign for me.
I do agree. I think his Blaze, his jet propulsion, I do play lots of Blaze solo top. It's not the easiest skill shot to actually land because there's the initial delay. There's that initial delay of hitting it, and then when you go in, it's sometimes hard to get escape. Of course, your team helped a lot. You're winning the game as Tempest, but still, he was hitting lots of those, and he was sustaining himself pretty well. So
yeah, it's hard.
I do agree.
It's hard to hit the stuns at max range, obviously. You know, you play in like low tier, you know, Hero League or whatever. You know, sometimes you're like, I got like 4 stuns because everyone's grouped up. But when you're getting those chase kills, like the Greymane kill in the top lane we saw, against Eyes in the Dark, mind you, where he didn't have vision even. Those kinds of kills are really impressive. His mastery of the hero, his bunker placements, everything was really good. No pun intended for this guy. So he's my MVP for tonight, definitely. And we'll see if we get an interview with him. Remember, this guy, of course, former Mighty player, and so played with a lot of the members of his opponent's team actually in the past. And I like seeing good on this solo role because it gives Dami so many different opportunities to play carry heroes like the Greymane, which has always been so good on. And I think that's part of the reason why Tempest is so strong this season, because Dami doesn't have to ever play the solo lane role, which I think that Dami was good at, but I don't think he ever enjoyed. So I think there was a certain cap to how much he could go.
That
and
is
grow
true,
there.
and he didn't even play the Haka sometimes when he was switching roles in Honkono. But I think tonight's match for Tempest.
Oh, look at this. Oh my god, we have to watch this again.
Yeah,
Silence the root. Oh, Divine Shield for Modern Life, but he's like, I'm getting out of here! That was the sickest part of it. That's probably, we're not going to see anything as cool as this for the rest of the night, guys. Spoiler alert. That was the best thing we're going to see tonight.
Maybe a better one for Ballistics. You never know. There's that CC chain onto Stitches, getting that Divine Shield out. But I think this really showed a good understanding of why Tempest is excelling so much in Korea. They didn't do anything flashy like a crazy pick or something else that they were hiding, because of course you want to use that at the Eastern Clash. But the understanding of their draft, the meta, what's the best hero, how they can utilize the draft and the rotation.
This was another one of those situations, by the way, not to cut you off, where we have BlossoM attempting to invade against the Blaze ETC and failing at it. Nasong was the first to die in this fight as a result. Just not respecting the composition sometimes was a bit of a challenge. A little bit easier with the finally